Hello and welcome to Lifetime Courts, the podcast where we discuss your favorite made-for-TV movies. Whether you love to hate watch or hate yourself for loving them, pour up a glass of your favorite cocktail and join us. I am your host, Patrick Serrano, and my guests today are...
I am Drew Current, yeah!
What? And I am Sara Carranza.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Damn.
Be back again.
Or if you want me to like white code, it'll totally be Sara Carranza.
There we are.
Sara Carranza.
I was watching something where someone said something like a bitch, and I was like, this is great. This is so
Are you sure you
funny.
weren't watching yourself in a mirror?
It might have been me. Yeah,
Were you watching that new show? I don't know. Never mind. I can't remember.
Whatever.
I don't know.
It was probably
Slow
The
clap
Bachelor.
for Drew.
The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
Slow pat in the head.
All right. We are
I deserve it.
continuing our series on LatinX representation in Lifetime movies. It's a short series because there aren't many. And I was really struggling to come up with another movie to cover because we Killer Daddy kicked this off for me, and I was like, oh, I know what we're gonna talk about. And then
You have to look through, and you're like,
oh
shit.
Oh, fuck.
There's like the Menendez brothers, but everyone knows about the Menendez brothers.
Menendez brothers. Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like pieces of shit dudes that are just pieces of shit dudes.
And then in my brain,
Rich ass.
I remembered my old friend from back in the day, 2008.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my friend Justina Machado. You know her?
No.
That's probably like, you don't know her?
No, I don't.
You do. Have you
I
ever
do.
seen 6 Feet Under?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
She's the wife.
She was?
Freddie Rodriguez.
Oh. Okay.
She's Vanessa. Is
Okay.
her name.
Okay.
And I loved her on that show. She was so good. She's like, what are you doing? You're like, embalmer. Like, what the hell? Like, make more money.
She's great.
Yeah. She was always like on him, and like she would like jump in. Anyways, I loved her so much. I moved to Chicago. She's from here.
Humboldt Park.
Humboldt Park.
Humble Park.
And she was filming a movie in Logan Square, and I worked at Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
And she walked in. She ordered a mocha, grande mocha. And
That's right, you worked at Starbucks.
Yes. And I was like, hey, how's it going? And she gave me her card to pay for her mocha. That's when you use cards at Starbucks. And I was like, okay, how do I look at the name on the card? Because I recognize the face.
Yeah.
And if I just see the name, I'll know who it is.
Yeah.
And I looked down and I'm like, Justina Machado. Doesn't ring a bell. I swipe the card and I'm like, here you go. Have a great day. And she was looking at me like, why are you looking at my card for so long? Because let's not forget, I can't read. So it's also on a credit card. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, you're like kind of flashing it in the light.
Yeah,
what
like,
the
I
fuck?
can't. And
Is this legit?
this is like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So
She's like, no, I have Hollywood money. It'll go.
It'll
Right.
go through.
we're best friends and she loves
So
me.
basically, your best friend.
Yeah.
It's funny because like I worked at Starbucks also in Chicago, and
Yeah.
you see there's like
You always see.
you get a celebrity in there once in a while. I got Josh Charles.
I don't know who that is.
You do.
You do.
I do.
You do.
And that's the great thing about Chicago celebrities. They're always
And
people
I
that you're
knew
like,
I knew what his name was because
Oh.
I liked the guy,
yes.
and I was like, I'd like lean over and I'm like, are you Josh Charles?
Is this a Zennial thing or?
Maybe.
I know James Charles.
I'll show you Josh Charles, and you will
This is
recognize
gonna blow
him.
my mind. I'm born and raised here, y'all. I'm not
Yeah.
a transplant.
Right.
Oh, I do know that
You know Josh
guy.
Charles.
Oh, the guy from The Good Wife.
Yeah, I don't watch that show.
Yeah,
He's from The Good Wife,
But
Okay.
I know
Good
him
Wife.
from the commercials.
Yeah,
Yes.
Josh Charles
From
yep,
Good Wife.
Yep.
Also, Freddie Rodriguez came into my store at Starbucks, and I was like, what is
Okay.
going on? Justina Machado, both husband and wife from 6 Feet Under.
Okay.
And my coworker was like, are you famous? He says you're famous.
Y'all
And I was-
famous?
I was like, girl, stop. You are embarrassing.
I would
The
say
only
I would say
time-
Dead Poets Society is probably like the most famous movie that Josh Charles was in. Anyway, yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
The only time I remember seeing a famous person is they were filming, I think, Ocean's 11 or 12 or something.
Ooh.
And my mom works at Northwestern, so I would go with her on the weekends to her work because she would work overtime, because she was working hard
Yeah.
as a Latina mother trying to take care of
Trying
kids.
to take care of them kids.
There you go.
And we ended up seeing Don Cheadle but we didn't know who the fuck he was. So
Yeah.
she asked someone, because everyone was waiting to look at him, and she heard Don Cheeto, and she started yelling Don Cheeto out loud so he would turn around to look at
I bet he did, and I bet that look was not a nice one.
It actually was. He just started laughing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure. Like, fuck yeah.
Hey,
All right.
I've got that Cheeto endorsement.
Yeah, I got that Cheeto endorsement. Hell yeah.
All right. So now that we've gone through all our famous people,
All the famous people we've met.
we can talk about the movie. So the movie we're talking about today is Family Pictures. It
Family
was the
Pictures.
one movie I could think of that had Justina Machado in it, and I was like, oh, of
And
course.
her daughter is also kind of, she's Brazilian, so yes.
Yeah, totally Latinx then. Wonderful. I was curious about that. I didn't actually look it up. So the movie stars Elisabeth Röhm, who you would know. She's in everything. She's blonde, beautiful.
Oh,
lady.
yes. SVU at some point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's so good on that. Justina Machado, who we talked about, who's also amazing, really good actress. Came up through theater, and then now
Yeah,
is
at the Latino Theater Company in Chicago.
I think I have
There you
the
go.
wrong one pulled up. But
Family Pictures. It has a picture of a man, a woman, and then another woman.
Bum, bum, bum.
yeah,
And
they mentioned none of the people you just said.
we'll just go to Justina Machado's thing, and it's on there.
Okay.
And also Matt Passmore. You should probably look at Matt
yeah,
Passmore. I bet he doesn't have a lot of credits.
Okay.
So, yes, this movie came out over the summer. It was part of the Book to Screen series, which we did not cover because, good Lord, they were terrible, every single one of them.
I'm upset. You should have warned me. I would have read the book first.
The book is Emily, what's it called? Emily Griffith? Emily Griffin? Emily...
Oh, man.
Emily Blimley?
Oh, sorry. Not Emily, anybody. Jane Green.
Oh, Jane Green book.
Jane
Yeah.
Green book. She's like beach read lady.
There goes that vodka.
Sorry.
Ooh.
Wrong pipe. She is like the beach read queen. She like writes like romance
Oh,
novels
okay,
and
yeah.
stuff. And like, I think
She's like the female Tom Clancy.
sure. The source material here, like, it started very much Lifetimey, and then it kind of got very chick-litty. And
This all tracks in my mind now.
there you go. So that's why.
And the director has like a picture of 3 Jane Green books in his Instagram.
Oh, really? Well, he probably did all of them.
Yes.
So, yeah. So we'll talk about it.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
All right. So we start off. We start with Sylvie. That's Justina Machado. We'll just call her Justina Machado.
Well, you start off with a... No, you find out that she's just getting her neck sucked by by her
gross.
husband.
Yeah, because he loves her.
I'm like,
So
gross.
much.
Neck
He
sucked.
loves her.
That sounds like a worse.
Hey,
I mean, hey, it's like when it's happening, it's great. But like hearing a neck
Yeah,
suck.
I mean,
it was so
it's a
bizarre.
choice.
It was so bizarre.
She's like baking in the kitchen. He's like really
He's just
they're
neck-
having
just
sexy time in that
Hickying,
kitchen.
Gonna hickey that shit.
Her husband's name is Mark. Okay,
Holloway, right?
sure. And
It's important later.
oh, I guess I didn't write down the name. Meanwhile, we meet Margaret or Maggie. I don't really know. That's the Elisabeth Röhm character, and she is playing golf, and she's like super bitchy on the golf course, and like being like, "Oh, Helen, did you plan the gala? Because my gala is better than your gala, bitch."
And let me throw all of this golf terminology.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm gonna go to my mansion now. Goodbye." That's how she says all her stuff.
So I just want to put this here.
Yes.
Just looking through the IMDb.
Okay.
There's one actor that. So first of all, Justina Machado is like the 10th person.
How?
mentioned.
She's like the A-list one.
Right. She
Right.
is A-list.
And this is why I just don't understand. Only one after her is the stand-in
Oh, no.
is credited.
Weird. Well,
Bailey Reed.
The
Good job, Bailey
algorithm.
Reed.
The algorithm is weird. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's probably not like done on purpose, but it's very strange.
It looks like it's alphabetical, actually.
No, it's not. It definitely is not alphabetical, because Repo Man credited is third. on this list, and that's
No,
not.
I mean actor name. It's like Blackmore, Brader, Burke.
Oh,
Cope,
I see what you mean.
Dickerson,
Cope.
Diaz, Demir.
That seems
Gerd.
weird. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
like,
that's better. And maybe she asked for it because she's like, please don't have my name on the
yeah,
top
she's
of
like,
this
I don't want to be
list."
top billed. I don't want to be top billed in this.
That's fair.
She's got better things to do.
Yeah.
One day at a time is renewed, so she's got to work on that. So, we have the rich woman.
And her white kids.
Yeah, and they're all like, planning all this gala stuff or whatever. It's just like showing two different worlds,
One's in California, one's in Connecticut.
Both these women have their kids, which we talked about. The mansion lady has 2 kids, and Justina Machado has one daughter. Her name is Eve.
Okay.
And Eve wants to move to New York and go to college.
NYU.
Yes. And Maggie's daughter, she is going to commute to college, but she's going to go to school in New York as well. Or she goes to college already.
She's already at
Okay.
NYU.
Oh, yeah. And these women, they have the same husband.
Ooh, spicy.
And for all y'all
same
doubters out there,
husband.
it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
Dudes just having bunches of families. I don't know how you handle it.
You both know my friend Rich Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory that he is gay in the city and he has a family in the suburbs. And
Oh,
he's
my.
straight. That's
Please
my...
tell me this is where you're not unveiling this for the first time.
No. This is like a theory that everyone knows.
Okay.
Like,
Does he know?
Yes, of course he knows. It's his life. He pretends he goes out of town on the weekends for work, but really he's going to see his wife and kids that he has.
No,
Damn.
I very much do not agree with this theory. That guy could not handle 2 families.
Okay, you're right.
Or he couldn't handle a family.
Wait, isn't he engaged?
He is engaged to a man.
Yeah.
But what does his fiance have to say about your theory?
Oh, I don't think I've told him that theory. I'll bring it up our next dinner. All right, so
He would say the same thing I did. There's no fucking way he could handle
True.
an entire other family, like an entire life.
hey,
He could barely
Rich has been doing it for years. Okay, so it happens more than you think.
You know what?
Just saying.
I love you,
my
Rich.
grandpa.
I love you, Rich.
There.
My grandpa had 2 families.
There we go.
I do not.
Our family, like
can't
sorry, y'all. Actually,
understand
no,
that.
I'm not sorry. The legit family, the one that was married, didn't know that the other one existed.
Yeah.
But the other one knew that we existed,
What the?
and they lived maybe like
fuck?
a town over in Texas.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
So it's
What
true.
are you- why? Why would you? Why would you do that?
He
I
said
know.
it was a mistake. Sorry, other family, not sorry. But he made a mistake 3 times.
Not sorry, other family, mistake family.
And then he had like 6 kids with my grandmother.
Boy.
Right? Yeah, because if you're gonna have an affair,
Hey,
don't
dudes.
do the family. That's not the point of it.
Hey, straight man. Let me tell you something.
and Rich,
Chill out.
Well, the only reason
Calm
why
down about it.
our family found out was because my grandpa was sent to the hospital, and then his other son was like, "Where's my dad?" to my grandmother.
This is better than what the movie that you're about to explain
true.
to me.
Yeah, can we just make this movie?
I don't want to ever depict a
Double
Latinx
double
Trump supporter,
family.
so no, I don't think.
True,
I'm gonna do
true,
that.
true.
I mean, that would be
Fine.
very interesting.
I mean, if we did it through the Lifetime lens, we could make it a little more fun.
yeah, you make it real weird. I don't know.
Inspired by true events. That's what we would say.
Yep.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna get in so much trouble, y'all.
Mark, the husband, is in way over his head, just like Sarah with her family.
Yep.
The 2 families,
Just like with Sarah and her couple families that she started.
he's like working nonstop to make money to support 2 families.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And it's a really weird lifestyle choice. I'm like, why would anyone choose to have 2 families and think that they could get away with it? That takes a...
One.
It's called toxic masculinity.
One is the hardest
Yes.
already.
So,
But like, it's a house in California, and houses there aren't cheap. But you find out later that they rent it on the monthly, rent controlled.
That's even more
And then there's like a
expensive.
mansion in Connecticut. What? What the what?
no.
What kind
I
of
don't
job
know.
does this asshole have?
This is why I don't understand this
Right.
behavior. I
So-
don't understand the behavior.
Eve, Justina Machado's daughter, goes to visit a college in New York or New York, whatever we said. And the person who she's staying with is the daughter of Maggie.
Her daddy.
So her half sister.
Her half sister. And they like do the college dorm thing. They're like partying in the dorm.
And they're sucking on a grapefruit for some reason.
Oh yeah.
What if they got like ecology and wanted to experiment and figure
Well,
out
that's the thing.
world.
They put a finger through a grapefruit and started sucking the finger through the grapefruit.
pretending it was a penis?
Oh, I mean,
You know that like
sure. I don't
that
know.
girls
Back
trip.
in my day, it
Is
was
that a thing?
American
That's
Pies.
in Girls Trip. Did you guys not see Girls Trip?
No.
Oh, that's what Tiffany Haddish does with the. She's like, this is how you suck a D with a
But
grapefruit.
why on a grapefruit?
Well, exactly.
grapefruit.
And then she actually does it on a dude, and he's like, that stung my penis.
That's
It's very acidic.
That is incorrect way.
Anyways, so they are like bonding or whatever, and she's like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't know why they go to the mansion.
I
but
think
they
she
do.
was just like, oh, we connect now, so we're going to go to my house. And I'm
So
gonna
they
show you
take her to the
everything.
house, and they're like having a great time. They're walking around. The mom, Maggie, is planning like the big gala or whatever, and she like has no time for the kids. And the husband's home, and he's like in the den or whatever. And Eve goes upstairs. She's like looking at all the pictures, and she's like, "Why is my dad in your picture?"
And they're like, that's our dad.
That's our dad. And she's like, "No." She takes out her phone. She's like, "Huh? Look." And they're like, "Oh, we better go tell our mother."
Oh, fuck.
And then as
in the middle of the gala.
as they're showing the picture through the window, you can see the dad sneaking out of the house because he heard them being like,
Oh, yeah,
"Dad,
that's right.
Dad, why are you in the girl's phone? Daddy, why are you in the phone?"
And he's like,
And then the girl's like, "Dad, why are you in the picture?" Yeah, and he's like,
he's like, oh, can't
gotta
get
go.
out of this one. I gotta go.
you literally see him like sneaking up for a work trip, and he never comes back.
I mean, you wouldn't. Why would you? Why would you come back?
So they all freak out. Then the
Christ.
daughter, I didn't write down this daughter's name, but she's like a blonde girl. Sorry,
Blonde girl.
Sorry, blonde girl.
Come on, girl.
Maggie is more concerned about keeping up appearances because she has like all her fancy country club friends over, and she's like,
And the girl's just like, Mom, Dad's in a picture of another girl. Like, Mom. And everyone's just looking at
they're like, what
her.
is she talking about?
And she's like, I can't believe you're trying to get attention this way.
Yeah, she's like, Dad's living a double life, and Maggie's like,
Yeah, like that could happen.
yes, get the kitchen knife, honey. We're gonna cut the cake soon. So, when she does get concerned is when they're on a shopping spree and the credit card declines, and she's like, "Run it again," and the saleswoman's like, "I did."
I did. I ran it like 5 times.
Yeah, and then we cut to Justina Machado's house, and the car's getting repoed, and he's like,
Motorcycle's getting
motorcycle, and he's like, "Oh, I have Maggie. What's the last name you said?
Holloway.
And she's like, "I'm not her. I mean,
Do I look like her?
right."
Do I look like a fucking Maggie Holloway? Yeah.
So they're all confused. Eve comes home and she's like, "Oh, this happened, this crazy thing," and Justina Machado is like, "Oh, this must be because of your eating disorder. Do you need to go back into treatment for your eating disorder?"
What?
I know, it's out of nowhere.
Well,
What the fuck?
here's the
Why
thing,
would-
though. Do I think it's out of order? I don't know. Because I think she thought that this was going to trigger
Sure.
her daughter into having those problems again. So, like,
Did she have them before then, I
Yes.
guess?
Yeah.
She
Okay.
had
She's
them
had
before,
treatment
but we
before.
didn't know until this moment. So it really comes out of nowhere. It's like, Dad's having an affair, and the mom's like, "You're gonna relapse from your eating disorder."
I guess so.
In a book, I guess it would make sense, but I would have needed to see some pretext on.
Well, in a
this.
book, there'd probably be
more of an
a
emotional
description
journey.
that this person had an eating disorder.
Yeah.
I don't
See,
know. I don't know.
here's where
You had to read the book, I
it
guess.
kind of got me. So I was kind of on board with this movie for an X amount of time because I
Yes.
was like, you know what? This Latina mother is like on point. She is overprotective of her daughter.
totally.
Except she's not at the same time because
not a helicopter mom.
she's not a full helicopter mom because there's no way on hell, like on the God's green earth, that a Latina mom would just let a teenager fly to New York. But like
That's true.
It's just not possible.
By herself.
And going to stupid ass parties. But like the fact that when she comes home, she tells us bad news. She's like, okay, I'm going to make sure that you're getting taken care of because I don't want this to affect you. Fuck me being sad for a moment. I'm going to make sure that this is good for you.
Sure. Great. So, great mothering.
Right.
But still super confusing as a movie.
Very confusing as a movie. And then also, since we had talked about eating disorders last year, it was something that I wanted to bring up because, Lifetime depicting them in movies, again, not necessarily the best.
Yeah, no,
depiction.
They're not.
But
I liked that she said you can relapse at any time and it's something you'll always live with and blah, blah, blah. But it just was so out of left field.
That I can totally see. The fact that a Latina mother isn't fat shaming her daughter,
that's true. Here's how I would have fixed it. If at the party they were like, "Do you want to eat this like pizza, whatever?" and she was like, "No, thanks." Or whatever.
Just a quick
just a little something where you're like,
But we don't even know what
her trigger. Yeah. Well, they said bulimia, so that's true. All
Is the fact that daddy's never home a thing?
True. You're right. It's more complicated. But then let's just leave it. Let's just take it out.
Just take it as they give it.
Take it out because in the book, I'm sure it was explained way better. You go, Emily.
Go, Emily.
Even though we never read your book.
Even though I never read
and
your
book. Name's not Emily.
I'm sure it's fine.
So both husbands.
Sure it's fine. Whatever your name is.
Both
lady.
women call their husbands. They're like, where have you been? What's going on? Like, my car got declined. My motorcycle got taken away. The women do some light research and they find out that Justina Machado finds out that the woman, the name that he gave her, she finds like her social media or something.
Yeah, she just Googles her.
Yeah, finds the picture.
She has like a foundation.
Stuff. And they realize they both, because also the other woman Maggie's looking up as well. They both realize that they are being two-timed, like the worst way. So Maggie calls Justina Machado and she's like, "Hello,
hi.
We have some things to discuss. Our husband's a liar." Right?
I don't remember.
I might be jumping a little bit. And they like want to like connect and like figure out what's like, like they find similarities. Like,
because okay, maybe I'm jumping ahead because I was like, this. I
don't
remember this.
Besties?
No, I'm almost positive that in order to pay for Justina's daughter's treatment, she decides she's going to go try to hit up the rich people. She flies over there. Is that after all of this?
Yeah, jumping just a little bit because we have to have the part where the rich mansion lady pops her pills, sloshes it with vodka, pushes her kids away, hides in her bedroom and cries.
You're right, because
I would do with a family.
I just felt so empowered that the Latina mom is like, you know what, I'm gonna get shit done, and then for the first time ever, you see the rich white mom being like, "Oh, I'm a hot mess,"
being a piece of shit.
She's a mess, and like Justina Machado's like, "I gotta fix my family. I gotta do." You see a big contrast. So Sylvie does get on the plane, or Justina Machado gets on the plane to get the treatment that we talked about, and Maggie's like, sorry. I'm trying to frame it. So she Justina Machado it arrives and she's like, "I want to do this and like get the money." And then she's like, "Oh, wake up, Maggie. You're like falling asleep as I'm talking to you. Are you on pills right now? Because I used to be an alcoholic and I can see the signs that you need to go to rehab and like get help immediately. And you're going down a slippery slope, woman. And you need to figure things out and get your head right to take care of your family." So she's like becoming a cheerleader for Maggie, which was great. I was like, this is awesome.
I was at that point, I was just like, yes.
All in?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. This is not white savior. This is like...
No, she's like...
I was like, we are two women who got fucked over by a man and we're going to get out of this together.
Let's fucking do this shit.
And I'm like, then like it's like Laverne and Shirley and like, I don't know the Laverne and Shirley song. You're gonna do it. Yeah, totally. So
They go
I'm
to
like-
Milwaukee.
That's
they
where you
fucking-
think it's going, but it falls off. So we'll get there.
Damn.
Oh, does it fall? I needed vodka
Damn,
for a
'cause
reason.
There
this
should be a
round.
fucking. There should be
So
a series out
the
of this.
money is
a breakup
not
series.
the money's not there. Mark liquidated everything.
Took everything, even from the white lady.
He put a lien on their houses. He
And the only houses that
Okay.
were owned were in Connecticut. So like the only person
lien on the
losing,
house,
yeah,
the mansion.
yeah.
Sorry, I wrote houses.
Yeah, no, that's where you'd want to put a lien on.
Like his
No, you'd
Mercedes
wanna-
was taken.
you'd wanna put a lien on that
his,
one.
Like the livelihood in
and
Connecticut.
he
was
and
never
he
gonna
just
be the
skipped.
He
just
skipped
juiced.
Yep. So
Okay.
Justina Machado and Maggie hold an estate sale, and Maggie sells all her jewelry, like
same.
everything.
She's heartbroken because she's like, "You can't cheat me. This was $15,000, and you're trying to get it for $6,000. Oh hell no!"
Mm-hmm.
And then Justina's like, "You got to do what you got to do."
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You got to do what you got to do.
exactly. So they're
motherfucker.
raising money for the college tuition, the eating disorder treatment, their lives.
And they're doing it together, which
Yeah.
is just like, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
We gotta do it.
Yes. So they go up. Of course, Maggie's family owns a cabin or something. So they go up to the cabin and they're like drinking wine and talking.
No, what's his face?
Who?
A stupid ass husband
Mark.
was like, I'm gonna have one property that's not in my name. It's gonna be under my wife's name, so it's under Maggie's name. So it's like a safe
So
haven.
The FBI can't get it or whatever because the FBI is on this now because he's done so much
Yeah,
like
it's-
financial.
All accounts are
It's
frozen.
interstate. Yep.
So
Over
they're
state
opening
lines.
up about everything and
Well, he embezzled like other funders stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta embezzle sometimes. When
here's
you have
the
two
best.
families, you have to embezzle.
well, yes,
Trust
of course
me.
you would.
I know.
So here's
Grandpa in heaven, you gotta tell me some stuff.
Grandpa.
as they're drinking wine, talking in the cabin by the fire and having girl time.
It's a jank ass cabin.
Which is weird.
Justina Machado
Which is
goes
kinda
into how she met Mark.
Oh.
She's like, my daughter was playing on the beach and she was almost eaten by a reptile.
What?
And he punched the reptile in the face and saved my baby.
It's from her days in Humboldt Park with Chance the Snapper.
Yes, Chance the Snapper. Like, that's the story. And she's like, and he was this cool super dude saving my daughter from a reptile. And
It was a runaway Komodo dragon
she
in
had
Humboldt
to
Park.
have said reptile because I wouldn't have wrote that myself.
It was Riptide.
Oh, wait.
By a riptide?
She was
Okay.
drunk at the beach and she had her baby.
That makes more
Oh, a
sense.
riptide in fucking Lake Michigan? Yeah, those aren't. That's not real.
That makes more sense.
Riptides don't
That
happen
makes
in.
more sense.
Actually, I don't know. Maybe
Guys,
they do.
that has been on my blog since July. So me must have had too much wine as well because I swear I heard reptile,
You're like,
but riptide,
reptile? Yeah, sure. Clickety click.
riptide.
A riptide. Either way, not a thing in Chicago. Neither one of those
they're not in
things are
Chicago
real.
in this movie. They're in California.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
You-
Yeah, you can get a riptide in
All right.
California and a reptile.
Now's
You
a
could
good
get
time. Now's a good time to take a break.
Well, you can get a
and
reptile in Chicago, so
You
I mean, you
can.
can get one. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play a clip of the trailer of the movie for you, just so you can get an idea of what's going on, and we'll move on, and we'll get over this riptide thing.
I won't ever
right.
get over it.
Okay,
But I will.
here we go.
Grace is home early.
Yeah, she said she was gonna bring a friend home.
Bestseller.
This is my friend. Hey, nice to meet you. Is that your... My dad is in your picture.
This is so screwed up on so many levels.
Jane
You're
Green.
Mark's wife.
Best-selling
Yes,
author.
I am, and I've learned so are you. You're prettier than I pictured.
Just note, they're all crying. Everyone's crying
Our
at-
relationship, you lied. You took my whole life, my husband, my house. He should pay for what he did.
Moms try harder, but we don't quit.
They
Batman
spoiled the
Pictures,
ending?
premieres Saturday at 8.
Well, the viewers don't know that, or the listeners don't know that. Okay, moving on. So,
Lifetime do better with your cuts, okay?
yeah,
Well, they just show the whole movie.
pretty
much.
So Maggie's working in a diner now. She has to like do that and whatever, and you know that sucks. Like from
She's lost her friends. She can't trust them anymore.
no. So the chef at the diner, his name's Quinn, and
Who was
he's
also
supposed to be
crying.
hot.
He just, for some reason, he was also just crying for
right.
no reason at all.
Quinn is the chef at the diner, and he is.
I'm a chef.
He might be crying, but he's very hot, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He like wants to date her, and she's like, no, I'm not dating anyone.
Date who? Which one?
Blondie.
Blondie?
Yeah,
Okay.
Maggie. And then Justina Machado's doing yoga and meditating and like getting her life together, and like you know her daughter's in recovery
By the way,
now.
she's like the #1 code switcher because she actually does like telecommunications at home.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes from like, "What are you doing?" to like, "Hi, thank you for coming to our
Oh, yeah.
purchasing."
Oh, she has that, like, the voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the customer service voice.
Yes.
Yeah, that we.
I have one.
I think we've. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if mine's different than my podcast one. I think it is.
No, mine's definitely different because
Mine's
I
different.
don't because I have to get into a mode where I can't swear.
Yes, that's part of it.
Where you're just like, hello, hi, miss, hi, just the whitest
Every day I'm like,
guy I can be.
Chicago Latino Theater Alliance, this is Sarah.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know. I can't do mine.
Thank you for calling.
I have to be at work. Okay. So
How can I help?
Mark shows up at Justina Machado's house, and he is disheveled. He's gross. He's like whatever, and she calls Maggie,
yeah.
right? And she's like, I don't know what to do. He's here, and she's like, call the cops, girl.
And she's at work. Maggie's at work.
Yeah. So Justina Machado tries to reason with him, and he just wants to like go to New York. Like, you know what I mean?
He's like, house me for a couple days.
Okay.
I'll hitchhike to New York.
and he's like, I was married too young, so I made mistakes, and I promise that I still love you, and everything's gonna be great, and don't worry. And she's like, fine, stay on the couch.
And meanwhile, at the cabin where Maggie was supposed to be at work, she's just like, I gotta go. There's an emergency, and she just leaves, and everyone's like, okay.
Mm-hmm. She books a flight to California
With
to
no money.
go see Justina at her house, and she arrives and sees Mark there, and she's like, oh, they slept together.
Mm-hmm. She just assumes. She just assumes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the old assumption.
Mm-hmm.
The old lifetime assumption.
She enters the room and she starts like hassling Justina, and then
He walks out.
He
from,
walks
like,
out with
taking a shower.
Yeah, he's like all wet and like shirtless, and
Yeah.
and not it wasn't.
How was he
worth
shirtless?
It.
No, it wasn't
It was
worth
like a dad bod. I mean, I was into it, but you know,
Yeah.
I just need a boyfriend, please. So, anyways,
But that is bad.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
yeah,
Fuck it.
Lifetime's my boyfriend
Everyone,
right now.
everyone, fuck yourself.
This podcast would not be possible if I had a boyfriend. Anyways, so Maggie calls for him to be arrested, and he gets put in jail. And she tells Sylvia that she's a doormat, and he was just using her, and she's trash garbage.
And she can't ever trust her. Like, how could you bring him into your home?
Yeah, and they start blaming each other for the problems, not
And
Mark.
this is Blondie.
Yeah.
Blondie getting mad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm. And I'm
And
like,
then
he's
this
not
is
even
where-
worth all this drama.
No, he's not. And then on top of that, Justina's starting to be like, well, you know what? It's hard for me to make this decision. And she starts like justifying a little bit her actions and his actions. So I'm like, oh no, here we go.
So
Buckle your seatbelt, Drew.
time-
You're about to get
Yeah.
Hold
for a
on to
ride.
your fucking
time
hat.
passes.
I'm
time
holding on to my
passes.
hat. I'm holding
Maggie
on to my
gets
hat.
more comfortable with her life in like the small town. She's like working at the diner, living in the cabin. Quinn and her are having sex in his truck. Whatever, you know.
I was like, damn, girl, get it.
I know.
Quinn?
Truck
Who's
sucks?
Quinn now? Wait.
Quinn's
The
the
cook.
chef, the
The
crying
not-so-hot
chef.
cook.
Oh, cool. The
He's
cook
like
at-
having sex
at,
with
like,
her in
the
his
Denny's?
truck and crying.
He's at the Denny's. The Denny's cook.
Why?
Yes. Sylvie or Justina Machado is struggling to like keep everything together. The eating disorder's not getting better. Because, you know, like the daughter just wants the family back together. She doesn't understand why they're not together. And you're like,
She probably, I mean, at this point, she probably needs to just like figure it
That
out.
happens.
yeah. And then it's like her eating disorder is fueled from all this disruption at home. And yeah, she doesn't want to go to college. So yeah,
Who does, Really?
I did.
She runs away from home. She's heading to
They
New York.
sold me on the dream, Drew.
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't like college. I'm not a fan
I liked
of
college.
school.
I did.
I liked the time I had in college,
I don't like still paying
but
for
I'm
it.
not a fan of school.
So at a New York party, because Eve runs away to New York, she sees Grace, which I've learned is the blonde daughter's name.
Just now from your notes.
Yes. They see each other again, and Eve just drinks too much because she's probably like underweight and like can't handle her alcohol. And Grace is like, "Oh my God, like, what do I do?" She's not waking up.
She
or
takes her
something.
back home with her or to her dorm with her and doesn't do anything all night long, even though she's non-responsive in her dorm room.
She like is passed out the whole time.
Oh, okay.
Eve is. And finally the next morning she's like, she's been like in bed for like a long time.
And just let's just make this clear. Lifetime has an issue apparently. She did not call the cops or the hospital first. She called her mom first.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So she waited for her mom to get to her dorm before she called the hospital.
Yeah. And
Okay,
the Maggie shows up, she does CPR.
And literally I think she says, "Oh my God, you saved her."
It's like, yeah. The paramedics arrive on the scene and Eve gets I wrote this down, but I don't know why, a brachycardia.
She's having heart issues because the thing is she's super
I said Eve had brachycardia and her body is shutting down.
she's dehydrated.
Yeah,
so she's like so heavily dehydrated that her body can't deal with it.
Oh boy, why do people read my blog? So
It's because we all love you, bro.
That's because it's fucking hilarious. That's why.
Justina Machado shows up and she's very thankful that Grace and
But she was
Maggie
drunk.
saved her. Oh yeah, because she had been drinking. She's like, my daughter ran away, and I'm
Doesn't want anything to do with it. I'm gonna drink.
I mean, if my daughter ran away, which I don't have a daughter, but if she did, I get super drunk.
I'd be fine with that.
I'd be totally drunk.
Be like,
She's an
bye.
alcoholic. No, she shouldn't.
And I'd
Yes.
be like, "Hey, Patrick, come over. My daughter ran away. I don't know where she is. We're getting drunk tonight.
Okay,
Y'all are bad idea bears.
We're drinking martinis.
sounds fun.
We're gonna have
Sounds
martinis.
Fun to me. So Eve wakes up. She has to go on dialysis. She's very concerned about where her father is
She was supposed to meet up with her dad
in New York.
in the cabin.
Right. So Justina Machado can't afford to pay for treatments, but Maggie finds some money that Mark's been hiding in the cabin.
Okay. So here's the thing. They're like, wait, Eve, you were going to meet your dad at the cabin, the ones that we live at? And they're like, that's really weird. That means that he's got money because he said when he was in California that he would pay for everything if he could get back to New York.
Oh,
So
yeah,
then they
yeah.
go to the cabin and they're like, what the fuck? I don't see any money. Blondie is like, I cleaned this out. I made it pretty. I made it livable. There's nothing here.
some shit in the walls.
So they start hanging out. They're chilling on the bed, and they see this stupid ass painting of
A portrait
Blondie.
of Maggie.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
they're like,
it's behind
"This
that.
is bad version of you. This is like
She's like the Queen of Versailles, like kind of like in like a
Pearl.
big chair,
Oh, okay.
like fur, like
regal." And they're like,
opulent.
It's like,
and then
this
Blondie-
doesn't make sense.
"No,
to be
actually, they're
here."
like, fuck that version of you." So they like girl bond, and they're like, "No, we don't like that you. We like diner you." So then
Yeah.
they just start fun stabbing the painting.
just fun.
Yeah.
Fun stabbing.
Laughing, stabbing, laughing and stabbing,
Just fun
You know.
stabbing.
laughing, stabbing
And then they find $3 million
in
Behind
the
it.
painting.
in the painting.
Oh,
Not
in the
behind,
painting.
in
Oh,
the
in
painting.
it.
Yeah, in the
Oh.
canvas.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a dumb place to put it.
So, I guess Mark is also there or something, and
He shows up.
yeah, he's like,
$3 million.
He just magically finds a
he's
car
like,
and drives
where's
up.
the money? And his car won't start.
He was like, "Where's the painting?
Right.
Where's the painting?" And they're like, "We threw it out. We threw it out."
Yep.
Were they
And
trying
then
to
Justina's just like,
fuck
"Let's
with him?
cut the shit." let's just cut the shit. We know you want the money.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they pay him off. They're like, we'll give you this much money to never come back in our lives again. Just like disappear. Go away. And
We'll give you one of the million.
He takes the money and goes away forever.
First he tries to steal all of the money, but then did they steal his keys or something?
Yeah, something. He like tries to take the money and run, but he has like a push start car and it won't start because he doesn't have like the keys on him. And he's like pushing the button and he's like,
fine,
So then
I'll just take $1 million.
Blondie's the one that gets to take the bag and is like, I'm giving you this stack to stay away. I'm getting you this stack so that if you ever want to ask us for money later, you don't ask us. I'm going to give you this stack for an other arbitrary reason. Mm-hmm. And then he drives away.
right. So he's gone.
You're like, fine.
With Mark finally out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I did a pun there.
Out
The
of
women,
the family picture.
the women make a salad and then they go camping. And then
With the hot cook boyfriend.
the hot cook boyfriend. And then they all take a family picture with a selfie stick.
Oh.
That's how the movie ends.
And that's where the family picture comes from.
That's right. Family picture.
And also
And
the
other
earlier
ways, yeah,
family
and the
pictures,
other-
you know.
and the other
it was
things,
just
yeah.
family
Yes.
and pictures.
But they tie it on back together. That's
Exactly.
fun.
Book
That's fun.
end.
All right. So on the podcast, we either pour it up or put a cork in it. Sarah, what are you going to do to this movie?
This is so hard for me, but I'm gonna put another cork in it.
Oh.
Maybe not break the bottle size cork.
But like a big cork. Pretty big cork that
Yeah.
shouldn't fit in a bottle.
Yeah. I mean, it had me. And it was going so well. And then the turns that made the white savior complex totally show up, where blonde mom and blonde daughter are the ones making like all the changes in the people of color's life, who got too drunk because they couldn't deal with it. And, you know, like they're the ones that had the strength to say no to dad when dad came back home. I had a problem with that. I had a problem with the fact there was papel picado at Justina Machado's house.
What is that?
It is, you know, when you go to Mexican restaurants and you see the
Paper.
cut paper, that's kind of what it means. So you see like the beautiful designs, and then it's like a flurry
Like
thing.
a snowflake, but not.
Justina Machado is Boricua. She is Puerto Rican. That is not a Puerto Rican thing. You don't need to have that in a California home to try to identify an individual.
Oh, that was in her home?
That was just hanging outside.
Well, you didn't tell me that.
Like a decoration.
It was just a decoration on her porch for no reason. She's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's
I didn't know that.
very obviously Latina. You don't need to like hit it
Like
home.
up it.
Right.
Up
I mean,
the ante.
that's the problem. Like either we're going too much and making it way too
So, like, again,
way
might as
too
well
stereotypical.
worn a sombrero.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't even use sombreros in the sense of sombreros in Puerto Rico.
No. No, you don't.
Right.
No.
You might as well, when she was at the New York party, have given her
Literally
coquito.
only
Like,
mariachi bands
Right.
use those.
And
That's
in Puerto
the
Rico, it's
only time I've
bombas. You
ever
get
actually
like
seen it.
you get these awesome like percussions, and well, you do that in Mexico too. But like, there's very specific things. I don't understand why you would have to try to visually identify anyone in a movie that's so indescript or undescript.
It was it very much could have
Mexican.
been generic. Yeah. Which would have been better, I think. You know.
No.
So, Drew, how about you?
I mean, I'm going to put a cork in it. It just seemed very confusing, even though it was like, could have been just like a pretty simple, straight up, like, girl, let's fucking fuck this guy up.
Right. That's what I
Like,
thought
kind
it
of
was
thing.
going.
Like, that's what I would, that's if
There's
it
even a
bec-
courtroom scene too.
And there is a better version
there's
of
a
this.
courtroom scene
There
in it?
is. There's a better version of this movie. It's called like The Three Wives or something, which we might cover later because it's a wild ride.
Is that based on real jams?
Probably based on true events.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also putting a cork in it. The ending really lost me, and they like it. It just was not good, and I just had way more questions than answers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I know it's based on the source material, and I think I'm gonna ding this one for the source material. Probably they stayed true to the source material and they were trying to fit it through a Lifetime lens, and it didn't really work.
When you change a book into a movie, it's hard. It's hard to like adapt a book into a movie because like you just don't have the book gives you all the information that you need.
The nuance, yeah.
And so when you change
it
it over, where it's just like, you had to read the book to really get this movie. Be like, no, fuck yourself.
Well, that's the thing. It drives me crazy all the time because people, especially when they go into critiques or whatever of theater, and the theater itself is also adapted from something.
Sure.
They're always like, well, it has the spirit of the book, but I'm going to have to ding it because it doesn't quite get it. No, they're completely different mediums.
Just do the thing. Like, what? Did you like it when you were watching it?
Could you get it without any other source material?
Yeah, do you need to can you just watch the fucking thing? And I think that's the biggest thing where, like, with these, like, that are adapted, where you have to, because I felt like, so the one time I ever watched, like, some fucking trashy ass movie where I was like, you know what, I decided that I'm gonna watch the 50 Shades of Grey movie. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna live tweet it or something.
You did it?
I did. I watched it and I was like, I don't understand what's happening because I realized, like, because I didn't read the book.
I did read the books. And
So I didn't understand. I was like, why are you're assuming that I read, like, don't do that. Just make it like it's a movie based off of the book and the story. Just give me the movie.
And both the movie and the book were both problematic for their own reasons.
Oh, it's garbage. But it was like, I wanted to be like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this whole movie. I'm gonna watch it all the way through. And it was just like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. That movie was should have been a Lifetime movie. It should not have been in the theaters.
No, it should never have been a Lifetime movie because then I'd be missing out on some pivotal
The
scenes.
sexy part.
No, I get it.
Have a
I get that
Lifetime
part.
sexy
I get that part, and that's why it was not a Lifetime movie.
Right.
But
I'm pretty sure
like,
that's why the female director was also fired after movie one.
Everything about it was, it screamed. It was just like, oh, this is like Lifetime. This is low quality, and it just assumes that you know what's going on.
Right. Well, in the Lifetime book to screen also assumes you know what's going on with all of them. They did a ton of them.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, like 6 to 12 movies over the summer.
But the Pride and Prejudice in Atlanta was actually really good.
That was good. But yeah, these were all terrible. So wonderful. I think that wraps up our conversation about family pictures. But of course, we have to do our favorite segment of this week and every week.
What you say, Candace, Cameron, Bure. On my wedding day, catch the bouquet. Candace hates the gays. Candace, Cameron, Bure. Drinking rosé, eating creme brulee. Can't share with me. Candace, Cameron, Bure. Yeah. What you say, Candace, Cameron, Bure.
All right, what you say, Candace, Cameron, Bure. The segment where we watch Candace's Instagram and we talk about it.
You say, girl, what did you say?
We'll see. Okay, here we go.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I bought this electric fly swatter on Amazon like a month ago. And I just asked, I was like, does it really work? And Natasha's like, yeah, I think so, but I wasn't sure, so I pushed the little button. And then with my other finger, like a little kid, I just had to touch it.
Pendeja.
I shocked myself. Like, it's a hard shock. It hurts. Like, my finger is still hurting, and it's like 30 minutes since I shocked it. Beware of the electric fly swat. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you are.
So
Wait,
yes.
what was she gonna say? Was she gonna say she was an idiot?
I
Yeah,
think she was
she
going to
did.
say
No, I'm just
she's
kidding. I
a idiosyncratic. What's
Nah.
idiosyncratic mean?
Can't you just be happy she finally called herself an idiot?
That's true. But it's so funny. Like
I do appreciate when she calls herself.
I
an idiot.
love that she had an electric fly swatter and she touched it. Like no,
Even her daughter didn't do it.
It's
I
an
know.
electric. It's an electric fly swatter.
it's dangerous.
It kills
They're
things.
electric.
Also, you
It
don't need, you
electrocutes.
don't need that.
No, just get a normal
Just
one.
get a fly swatter. Like, why do you need an electric one?
Or you
Although
can even
that's
get those
that's
like
how you
sweet
get them
fly
out
traps.
of the air.
So you
Although I'll tell
don't-
you what, those things work really well with like mosquitoes, and you just
Ooh.
wave it around when there's
That's
like a ton of
fun.
mosquitoes. Like
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
great idea.
Yeah, no, fuck mosquitoes forever.
Yeah, mosquitoes are the worst.
Flies. I mean, I don't know. I don't like flies, but
Shoe fly, don't bother me.
don't bother me, fly. But we don't get many flies in Chicago
Oh, yeah,
unless
you
we're
do.
at a shitty restaurant.
My old work used to get them a lot, but we were at a warehouse.
Yeah, you're at a place where like flies like to live.
Right.
But I mean, mosquitoes we don't get a lot here either. But like,
My legs would beg to differ in the summer.
well, yeah, I mean, we do get them, but I'm not saying there's no mosquitoes in Chicago, but we get
false advertising,
way
Drew.
less
Sure.
mosquitoes than most other places that when you go to, like if you go camping or shit, you're just like, I would love to have one of those camping, just swing it around like, fuck
I
you
love
guys,
it.
fuck all of you guys.
That's in their. You come to their house and kill them in their house.
Yeah, absolutely.
So rude, but I
Kill
would
all
actually do the
mosquitoes.
remix of Drew's fly swatting.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right. I think that wraps up this episode. Sarah, do you have anything you'd like to plug in the pluggy time?
More Latinx representation. I'm gonna plug for that. Speaking specifically for the Chicagoland area, there's 2.3 million Latinos that are recorded according to Nielsen's 2019 rating. We're still not seeing the representation we need, and we do not need you to completely wash us under one lens. This movie was moving in the right direction. It didn't end in the right direction, but we're gonna get there, y'all, and
I'll get there.
we just need that help.
Yep, I'll get there.
Wonderful.
I'll get there.
Drew, how about you?
Follow me at Drew But with Pants on Instagram, and follow my band The Limbos on Spotify.
Yes, you should.
Don't even have to listen to us. Just go click over and follow it.
Okay. Thank you both for being here, and thank you, listeners, for checking back in with Light to a Court. We don't just movies, you don't have to, but if you do, we'd love to hear from you. You can follow me at Patrick Miguel or the podcast at Light to a Court. Don't forget to rate and review us. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Adios.